Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and feels on Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo, the third and final book in the Grisha trilogy, the first book being Shadow and Bone, the second being Siege and Storm. I have reviews for both of those books if you guys would like to go and check those out. I will leave links down below, but I have finally finished this trilogy. It's about dang time. I've had this trilogy for quite some time now, and I feel accomplished knowing that I have completed this trilogy. I feel like I should do like a Grisha dance of some sort, but I don't really know how Grishas dance, and I don't know if I should even attempt to try because it might be super embarrassing. So I'm gonna try to talk about this book without spoiling anything, but that might be a little bit difficult because this is the third and final book in the trilogy, and I feel like spoilers might happen throughout this video. So if you have not read this book, if you have not read this trilogy, then you might want to do that before watching this video. So I went into this book with pretty low expectations. I know that a lot of people left this book raging because they were upset with how it ended. So I kind of went into this book open-minded, not expecting too much from it. And this book definitely ended in such an unexpected way. I kind of thought that I knew where Leigh Bardugo was going to be taking this story, but then we got to the ending and I was just like, this is not what I thought at all. Nope, nope, nope. Something that I loved and appreciated about Ruin and Rising is that we really see how Leigh has grown as a writer. I feel like she's going to be one of those authors that with every book, you just see growth in her writing. It just gets better and better with each book, and that was definitely showcased within this book. Her writing is just so beautiful and detailed, and I love it so much. I love it so much. I will say that my main gripe with this trilogy in general is the lack of plot. I just left each of these books just wanting more from the plot. Each of the books just kind of feel like a build-up to the finale of each of the books, which they each have fantastic finales. I will say that. They each have these finales that just want you to keep reading the next book in the series, but I just feel like those build-up moments between the beginning and the ending, the little middle part here, is lacking a lot. The bits in between just didn't do much for me, and I just wanted more in those middle sections. It was still really entertaining, and I still love several of the characters throughout the story. Genya, Nikolai, and Alina. Even though I didn't love Alina from the start, I grew to love her throughout this trilogy. Even if she made some choices that I didn't necessarily agree with, you do really see growth in these characters, and I just love that about this trilogy. Alina is definitely not the same person she was in Shadow and Bone in Ruin and Rising. In Ruin and Rising, she's a completely different person. Same for Genya. I feel like Genya just goes through so much growth. She goes through so much throughout this trilogy, so to see her on the other side and be able to kind of power through those things that she's been through and to see her character growth in Ruin and Rising is just incredible. I did start to see a little bit of growth with Mal's character within this book, but not enough to agree with certain things that went down. Okay, we're just gonna dive into the spoilery section now because I need to talk about certain things that happened within this book. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Darkling's death. I was not expecting the Darkling to die for some reason. I kind of went into this book thinking that maybe he would have changed his ways and he would have ended up on the good side, but that didn't happen at all. I kind of just thought that way because everybody always raves about how much they love the Darkling, and I'm like, well, maybe he's one of those characters that just starts off evil and then he changes his ways and he ends up being good, but nope, that didn't happen, and he freaking died, and I was like, what? For some reason, I just was not expecting him to die in this trilogy. I didn't think that that was going to be a thing, but it was a thing. He died. Later, Darkling. Another thing that I wasn't expecting was for Mal to be endgame, and I guess that's what everybody was raging about, and I should have picked up on that, like, oh, duh, Alina's gonna end up with Mal, and that's what everybody's going crazy about because nobody likes Mal. Well, there are a few people that like Mal. It's okay if you like Mal, but I do not really like Mal. I liked him in Shadow and Bone. I thought he was a decent character, but as this trilogy went on, I just wasn't a fan of Mal. He didn't impress me at all, and like I said, he did start to show kind of signs of change in Ruin and Rising, little tiny bits of progression within his character development, but not enough for him to be endgame. Personally, I don't think they work well together, and I don't think it's because I'm not a fan of Mal. I just really don't see them being that great of a couple together. To be perfectly honest, I don't really ship Alina with anybody. Like, I kind of ship her with Nikolai just a little bit, but I didn't really see that happening, and it didn't happen. Speaking of Nikolai, I wasn't super satisfied with how his story came to an end within this story. Like, I feel like we didn't get much closure with Nikolai. I needed a little bit more closure with Nikolai, and Nikolai went through a bunch of crap within this book, like being turned into a creature and being cursed or whatever. He went through a lot of crap within this book, and we don't really get that much of closure with him, so I wish we would have had a little bit more of an ending with him. So that's all I really have to say about Ruin and Rising. She definitely ended this trilogy in an unexpected way. Let me know down below what you guys thought of Ruin and Rising. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with a new one. Later. So I went into this book with pretty low expectations because